Welcome back to Jennison Fieldhouse. Andy Schmurra alongside Eric Alanowski. First match of this day between RayVon Foley of Michigan State and Austin Assad for the Wolverines. A little different from what we originally expected.
Yeah, and speaking with the Michigan coaching staff prior to the duel, Coach Kellen Russell did say that Drew Matten was sick, so you're seeing Austin Assad.
RayVon Foley, true sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan, coming to East Lansing for his collegiate career.
What a job for Foley. Hopping on that right foot. Talk about balance.
And if you're Assad, grabbing Foley by the leg may not be the bad idea because he's got excellent footwork, and that's normally how he wins a lot of these duels.
And the thing here for Assad is he's been fighting this takedown to try and get it for over a minute.
So they're going to go out of bounds. They're going to reset now back in the middle. Solid start there from Austin Assad going against the number 7 125-pounder in the country. Now they start out in the neutral position.
And that had to have taken some gas out of the tank for RayVon Foley, hopping on that foot for 1 minute and 5 seconds. But good for him not to give up that takedown. And if you're Assad, you have to finish that in the center. You cannot allow RayVon Foley to get to the out-of-bounds line when you have the leg up in the air.
Foley grabbed him by the leg, and that's one takedown. Foley with an early lead over Assad. Now out of bounds.
And what Foley did there, he got to his shot, and he immediately stopped the scramble from Assad. So he stayed low, and he kept his ankles tucked. And what that did was it didn't allow Assad to look for any ankles and roll through to begin any scrambles. So good job for RayVon Foley to understand where he is on his shot.
Foley starting out on top, Assad on bottom. All right, now Foley doing what he does so well is just adding up the riding time, try to get that point by the end of this duel.
Yeah, and the thing here, I mentioned it in the opening, the way that RayVon Foley had beaten Drew Matten previously. Matten came out, picked up the first win in their first matchup. He went on 3 straight wins against the Michigan opponent, and speaking with Coach Roger Chandler, I said, was RayVon Foley this good when he came into college in the top position? And he said he wasn't. But what he did was when he got to college, he committed to mat wrestling. He wanted to get better on bottom, and he wanted to get better on top, and you're starting to see this.
I think that's exactly what we've seen. Foley, 21-1 on the year, 8-0 on duels, 31 dual points. Riding time now up over a minute for Foley.
And he has that cross wrist. You're seeing that left wrist tucked, and he's going to tuck his head, and he's going to get backs here.
Going for the near fall.
So referee's just holding 2, so he only had a 2 count. But you see that he's holding it down to the mat because RayVon Foley still has that same hold, and now you'll see it awarded.
So that's another 2 points there for RayVon Foley, 4-0 in this individual duel. And Foley always getting that strong start, as you mentioned, in the open, and it's just so hard to come back once you're down, even if it's 4-0 against RayVon Foley.
And when you're that good on top as RayVon Foley is,
right,
takedowns are essentially worth, that first takedown is worth 3 points because if you're able to build up that riding time, then that gives you that extra cushion.
Foley trying to get the escape, and the goal out of bounds. Still 4-0 in this individual match. Austin Assad, the redshirt junior for the Wolverines from Northfield, Ohio, 8-2, 0-1 on duels. Only played sparingly in his career due to injuries. There's an escape for Foley.
And Coach Sean Bourmet, first-year head coach for the Michigan Wolverines, was telling Assad that you need to keep the pressure forward, and he wasn't happy with that escape that Assad gave Foley.
Just barely staying in bounds, and now they go out.
But what I like there, Foley's heels on the out-of-bounds line, he circles, so that's a veteran move there. You don't see young guys do that a lot. So in order to keep that stalling off his back, Foley circled right, got his heels to the center, and put Assad's heels towards the out-of-bounds line.
Foley got him by the leg, trying to bring him down. And he'll get awarded with a couple points. 7-0, Foley leads. 1 minute to go in the first period. Foley just staying all over Assad. 1:30 now is the riding time, so you got to think at this point Foley is going to win that battle. That's another point by the end of regulation.
Looking for that left wrist. You're seeing that hand trying to dig through to come to that left wrist, and that's where he picked up the first two near fall. He had that cross wrist, rolled through, kept his head tucked, and was able to pick up the two for the near fall.
And that's going to be a stall call against the Wolverines.
So that's Assad's first warning.
Assad trying to get back up. And now it's out. So still 7-0, Foley leading Assad. 9 seconds to go in this first period. Foley starting out on top. Assad trying to get that escape before the period ends. And that will end it. So first period between Foley and Assad. 7 points for Foley, nothing yet for Assad. He's showing you why he's one of the best.
So this is actually going to be the third period.
Third period.
So Foley chose down and got the escape in the second. Now Assad chose down to start the third, and Foley's just going to let him go. Try and get to work on his feet.
With riding time by the end of this, Foley would be in major decision territory.
And you're starting to see a sense of urgency from RayVon Foley, starting to pick up the pace, putting a couple of shots together. And if you're Austin Assad, right here, what you have to do is get to an underhook and slow the pace of the match down, or that's going to happen.
And that was huge there for RayVon Foley. Now it's 9-1 in favor of the Spartans. Riding time is all for Foley right now, about 2.5 minutes, so it's going to be 10-1 as it stands right now. That's huge for this Michigan State team.
And the crowd is asking for a second stall call, and you're starting to see Assad build a base here.
And you think at this point Foley is going to be content just by staying on top, riding like he is now for the rest of the match.
And you say content, but if you take a look over to your right, Coach Chris Williams for the Michigan State Spartans is not content with this lead. He wants more points on the board.
There's another escape awarded for Assad. 9-2 now is the score. Closing in on 30 seconds for this third period. Right around the out of bounds marker. Both wrestlers go at it. Now down to 15 seconds. Still no points awarded. Foley trying to get that takedown, not quite there. And that will be end of the third period. So with riding time, that's going to be 10-2. RayVon Foley gets the victory, and that is a major decision for Michigan State. That's 4 points for the Spartans. That's huge.